Hey everybody, welcome to another video review by CigarFellas.com. I'm Moose.
I'm Trident.
And today we are going to be reviewing the Man of War, the Project Skull Crusher. And, or side project, I should say. Roman happened to land these, well Trident happened to land these, and what do you know about it?
Well, it's another blend by AJ Franz, just like the other Man of War line is. They're actually released in early January, first week of January or so, but only in these sampler packs that you can get that comes, with this whole anthology. By the time you see this, they'll probably be selling them in, 5 packs or so. If you call CCOM, give them a call after the review and, see what they can do for you. But it is a Pennsylvania broadleaf Maduro wrapper. It's got a Honduran Habano Ligero binder, and the filler is Nicaraguan Ligero. Just by the sound of it, it sounds pretty powerful. So, the construction on it is wonderful. It's got a nice oily wrapper to it, just the Maduro, nice color to it. It's actually capped on both ends. I don't know, you guys probably can't see that from here, but buy some and you'll see it. And let's get to lighting this thing up, and we'll start telling you about it soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if I want to cut the foot to light it, or if I just want to try to light it. So actually, what are you going to try?
I'm going to try to light it like I always do, just since I always toast it before I light it. So why don't you cut it, toast it, and we'll see what the difference is when it goes through a little.
And I'm just shaving just the edge off there with my Cigar scissors.
Just that little torch hitting that Maduro wrapper has this amazingly sweet smell. It's just smells delicious, makes my mouth water. Ready to smoke this thing already. So, like I said, just a little bit of a touch.
Oh wow, that really does smell sweet. I mean, when he says sweet, he means it is really sweet.
It's got a nice smooth draw through it, almost like a milkshake type draw. Not too tough, not too light. So let's light this puppy up and we'll start telling you about it.
Now I will say this before we get too involved. I feel like I'm starting to come down with a cold. So I'm very congested. I did smoke 2 other cigars before this one today. So my sinuses are cleaned out. However, they're extremely hypersensitive right now. So I'm going to let Roman go ahead and do most of the description as far as, nosy and things like that, because I really feel like mine is going to be a little compromised.
Well, I'll start with just the initial light. Again, it's a little powerful, actually pretty powerful through the retrohale. It is a little peppery and spicy to start. Again, it's got that hint of sweetness to it. I can't put my finger on what it is yet, but it's got this nice hint of sweet pepper to it. So far, it's starting off great.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, my retrohale is super sensitive right now, but it is definitely peppery. I'm not picking up the sweet. Excuse me, and that could easily be because I'm going through some sinus issues right now. However, I can smell the sweet off the smoke. I mean, I can definitely smell the sweetness. Even in pre-light, it was very sweet.
I mean, right now, they said I'm just getting that sweetness to it. It may take a little bit to evolve. It is in a figurado shape, which if you guys haven't smoked a lot of them, they do have sort of tapered on both ends. And as you get into it, the draw becomes a little lighter as the first tapered end that you lit actually opens up a little bit, which I'm expecting the flavors to change a little bit as it opens up a lot. So let us get about a third into this and we'll get back to you.
Absolutely.
Welcome back, everybody. We're in about a third of the way into our Skull Crusher right now, and I don't know if I have enough good words to say about what's going on with this cigar right now.
It is amazing. I mean, there's no doubt, even with my sinus issue going on right now, it is full of flavors that I'm really enjoying. The spices on this are just amazing. I really enjoy it. I mean, it's dancing in my mouth. My tongue is excited about it. My retrohale is really crazy about the spices. But yeah, I mean, it is smooth and so full bodied. It's great.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that full bodied taste and flavor and everything else. I mean, it's, like I said, full body nicotine load, full body flavor wise. I mean, it's just a good cigar all around. Some of the little subtler hints I'm getting is, like I said, a lot of that sweetness from the Maduro wrapper, but it does have a lot of leathery notes to it. And that leather note really blends really well with that spicy to it, especially on the retrohale. It's very smooth, doesn't hurt at all.
Right, right. And, and this may be a statement that I'm making because of my sinus issue right now, but I get woodsy is my base. I don't get the earthy like I anticipated with all the spice. I get more woodsy. It's not one particular wood, it's just that kind of woodsy. You know what I mean? You guys know what I'm talking about. And if you don't smoke one, you'll get it too. I mean, that's the best way to put it.
Yeah, like I said, I'm actually really anxious to see how it continues. But like I told you before, as it opened up into the normal shape of the cigar after that little figurado end, the draw is very smooth. The flavors did hint up with the more pepper and the more leather to it, but so far it's doing really well. So the burn again is razor sharp all the way around. Well, almost razor sharp all the way around, but doing pretty well.
Yep, and I am drinking it with water, so we're safe there. All right, that was a bad joke, but either way. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that is the one thing about figurados, especially like I enjoy the some of the other figurados out there, and there's that point where it's like you go from you're trying to breathe in the smoke, and then all of a sudden it just explodes, like it just opens up, and the next thing you know, you're drinking through a McDonald's straw and nothing on the other end, and that's really what this cigar did. It was great when it happened. So
yeah, it's like I said, it's doing really well. So let us get a little further into this, and we'll see you guys in a few minutes.
Hey, take note of the color of your guys' ashes. It's different. So you're smoking slower. You're smoking faster. And I wonder if it's just the soil content, or if it is in fact the
that's actually really interesting that we brought that up, and we might as well keep this video going. For all of you that are wondering, that is Grumpy in the background. He is manning the camera, and that's a very good point to actually look at the difference in the ashes. I think I am smoking it a little bit slower. We're still neck and neck as far as how much, but I definitely think I'm smoking it a little bit slower, and that was a good valid point.
Well, let's see how it does.
Absolutely.
See you soon.
Good. Hey everybody, welcome back. So here we are, we're in our, well, I'm a little bit slower a smoker, but here's the final third of this Man of War. And I can tell you that, I mean, we're all actually sitting here chatting, and I'm loving this cigar. The flavors that are coming out of this, even with my sinus issue right now, I mean, I'm still getting the woodsy. The coating in my mouth is just that nice, spicy, peppery. I still get the black pepper in there. I've since the last part stopped retrohaling, so I'm actually trying now to actually gauge this flavor without a retrohale, which is really weird for me because normally I am totally about retrohale. But definitely the woodsy, still the black pepper. Smooth enough though that surprisingly it's nice. I don't think it's too much. I mean, there's some cigars that can be very overbearing, and I don't get that from this.
No, I totally agree with that. I don't get overbearing with it. It is a powerful cigar. I mean, it's definitely not for the light of heart. I'm a noob. I'm going to smoke this cigar because everyone said it's great. This is one, probably not for the faint of heart or not for the new smoker. But
yeah, absolutely.
Like you said, it's got a lot of those good flavors. I'm still getting some leather and spice to it. But in the last third that I've hit recently, actually, it's become a lot sweeter than it did in the first third. But almost like the initial sweetness that I was describing in the beginning of the cigar that I was getting when it was still, figurado capped. But All those flavors are blending very well. I'm still retrohaling. It's still going very well with the retrohale. Like I said, I'm picking up a lot of the sweetness through the retrohale, and it's very delicious, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm really excited to actually be able to try one of these next week after I'm over this, and to actually maybe even see what I'm missing. At which point, I may even do another written review just for my own personal, just to kind of get, you know, an understanding, maybe a little bit more of what maybe I was missing this time. And I may actually, you know what, as a matter of fact, the next one that I smoke, I'll actually put it in the blog. I won't even do a written review, I'll just blog about it and kind of go back so you guys will have something to come back and check out on in my Moose's Corner. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely, you know, another, you know, Trident and I were talking earlier, and you know, when we first met, I don't know, we've known each other 6, 7 months, something like that. And when we initially met, I hadn't smoked a lot of AJ stuff. I just really hadn't. It wasn't because I thought anything bad of it. It's just the cigars that I was focused on at that point was not so much AJ stuff. And now that I'm getting more and more into these AJ cigars, especially, you know, with Trident. Trident is a lover of AJ stuff. I'm actually finding myself extremely happy with all of the blends. You know, I can't say enough good stuff about his cigars, and this is no exception. I mean, this is definitely one of those cigars for you out there that enjoy those spicy, full-flavored cigars. This is definitely the one to try out for sure.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I've had the pleasure of meeting AJ Fernandez a couple times already, and just talking to him about the way he blends cigars and what he does with them, and just all of his trials and things like that he goes through to make cigars like this. It's just great to talk to. If you ever get a chance, he does a couple events and things like that. If he ever is in your area, you know, look him up, check it out. You know, sometimes it's a little harder to talk to him. He speaks Spanish and things like that, but he comes with, you know, people that'll translate for him and things. So
now he will be at Cigar Fest, correct?
Correct.
Right. So actually, hopefully, we are going to Cigar Fest this year. So hopefully, we'll be able to sit down with AJ and actually talk to him about some of the cigars that maybe he's coming out with in the future, and we'll give you guys a better understanding. But definitely something that I would for sure say, you know, I mean, we order and get a lot of stuff from Cigar.com, and it's definitely one of those things that go to Cigar.com, check them out, look at what they have to offer, and check out their AJ stuff. I mean, really, I honestly don't think that anybody can go wrong smoking stuff, especially, you know, if you're into the medium to full bodied range.
Yeah, he does a great job of blending a lot of different flavors together. Makes it a very complex cigar, and it's just, you know, completely smooth on the palate and on the retrohale. You know, his diesel line, you know, his Man of War line is phenomenal. He's got anywhere ranging from a mild to, you know, a very full-bodied cigar. He just came out with that anthology actually in January that I was talking about earlier. But in the anthology, it's kind of nice because in the lid of the anthology, it actually tells you about the cigar. It gives you the wrapper, the binder, and the filler, and things like that. So, you know, as a noob, maybe it's a good idea to pick one of those up, maybe read what the cigar is about, and find flavors that you like. And then if you want, you can match, you know, those cigars to other companies and things like that if you want to branch out that way. You know, it's really nice what AJ does for the cigar community and things like that. So, you know, he's doing really well. I really like his stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, one thing I want to point out is, you know, we make a lot of reference to new. And just to explain to some people out there who might not understand exactly what we're saying, we're basically saying that you're either new to cigars or you're new to a brand. You don't necessarily have to be, you know, completely cigar illiterate to be a noob to a brand. You know, when new brands come out, I mean, there was a point when, you know, Four Kicks came out with their new stuff, and I didn't know a lot about Four Kicks. But, you know, it is something that I learned along the way that it was definitely a brand that I really enjoyed. So, you know, I mean, when we say that, please nobody take offense, but it's not what we're trying to say. We're just simply saying that maybe you're not familiar with the AJ line or, you know, with, you know, whatever line that we're talking about at the time. So, do you have anything else to add to that?
No, like I said, I mean, we're not trying to be offensive at all. It's just, you know, if you are just entering the cigar community and looking us up on the website, you know, look at our other reviews and things, and see if that's something that you enjoy or the flavor profile that we're talking about. It's a good way to expand your palate. Give Cigar.com a call. Talk to my buddy Andy over there, and he'll hook you up. Talk to him. Tell him, look, I want to try these cigars, and he'll definitely make up a sampler for you. Tell him I sent you. He'll enjoy it.
Absolutely. And until next time, you can always check us out at www.cigarfellas.com. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/cigarfellas. We have just recently updated our website, which we're pretty excited about. We're starting to use a new website builder that I'm pretty happy with. I think it's going to make it a lot easier. There's a search feature now, so you can actually go to Cigar Fellas and do a search for something. There's blog posts, there's places to leave comments. You can go on to there and you can actually, request cigars that you'd like us to try. As a matter of fact, I think Trident blogged something earlier today that, actually said something along the lines of, hey, if you want us to try to review something, let us know. We're open to do any cigar out there. If we haven't already done it, I'm sure that we can get a hold of one. And if we can't, we'll certainly let you know, or we'll point you to somebody that has.
Right.
I'm not afraid to share this, this experience with everybody else. Also, please check out cigarsforwarriors.net. An amazing company that's doing amazing things for our veterans. Not only our veterans, but all of our troops overseas. They're just such a giving company. There's a lot of humongous companies involved in this. Drew Estates, Famous Cigars. We've got some review sites out there. We've got individuals, Hoya to Nicaragua. All these people are backing up this cigarsforwarriors.net. We're sending cigars. We're putting together bundles that we send to them to send overseas. And and even if you can't afford to send a bunch of cigars, you can always send $5, send $10. There's donation links in there. You can always get a hold of those guys. And even if you can't, you can still understand that they're a great company doing a great thing for our troops. Other than that, I'm Moose.
I'm Trident, and just as a the official time on the cigar, roughly, I'm almost 2/3 done. Timing with our Vermont company. Check them out, Vermont.com. It's just over an hour and 15 minutes, and I still probably have another half hour to 45 minutes to go.
Absolutely. We'll catch you next time at cigarfellas.com.
See you soon.
This is Grumpy.